With whispers of a mighty and ruthless federation of enemies close to their doorstep, the Ferengi Alliance would set their starship designers the task of creating a powerful and versatile design at a reasonable price. And out of this innovational financial decree, the D'Kora Class Marauder would be born. But what do we know about this jackpot class? Well, today we'll find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of Truth or Myth Beta Canon, a Star Trek web series that dives into the history of any given topic using beta canon sources and my own imagination to fill in the gaps. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the Ferengi D'Kora Class Marauder as first seen in Season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation to better understand its place in Star Trek history. Please note, this was actually a really fun episode for me to write. I don't often travel outside of Federation starships, as good 3D models of them are hard to find, but when I did find the D'Kora class model, I jumped at the chance to delve into the Ferengi psyche and history, so I hope you enjoy this episode. But of course, and as always, because this is just a beta canon video, all information relayed should pretty much be taken with a grain of stardust, and only considered a little bit of Star Trek fun. And so, with all that out of the way, let's begin. The Ferengi Alliance had long heard rumors of a vast federation of planets, with ways very different than their own. Several separate and independent vessels had reported vague contact with a governmental body whose sole purpose seemed to be the advancement of their federation through mutual cooperation and sharing of resources, at no cost. And this concerned Grand Nagus Sec greatly. Ferengi starships at the time were the cheapest, most overworked, and least refit vessels most of their home territory had ever seen. Cobbled together from centuries of other constructed vessels, the Ferengi fleet was hardly anything great to behold. And so, Zek did what he always did. He came up with a brilliant and cost-effective plan which he hoped would keep this federation of planets at bay, setting the Ferengi Alliance's best and brightest the task of coming up with a starship design which could rival the most powerful starships of the time, as well as being cheap in price to make. Zek's entire plan would revolve around fooling any enemies the Alliance encountered into believing the Ferengi were one of the most powerful races in the Milky Way galaxy. To reinforce this view, Zek would send out several hundred hired mercenaries out into the Alpha and Beta quadrants to spread many falsities about the power, strength, and viciousness of the Ferengi Alliance. And by the time Zek approved the plans for this new single starship design, the galaxy was indeed abuzz about this new and mysterious Ferengi Alliance. And after almost a year of construction, in 2359, the D'Kora Class Marauder would be born. Sitting at a length of 630 meters and 33 decks tall, the D'Kora Class Marauder would be designed to be operated by 450 officers and crew members. The D'Kora class utilized an integrated nacelle system similar to that of the Klingon bird of prey, a technology bought from the Klingons several decades beforehand. And although an efficient warp design, the D'Kora class would end up being slightly slower than its Federation counterparts, with a standard safe cruising speed of only warp factor 7 and an emergency maximum speed of warp factor 9 for 10-hour increments. The D'Kora class Marauder was also equipped with a variety of directed energy weapons and torpedo launching systems. To encourage privateers to purchase the new D'Kora class vessels, Zek would also have these weapons ports designed to be easily modified or exchanged to allow its captains to install their own weaponry previously purchased by them. In addition, the D'Kora class Marauder was equipped with a new energy weapon developed by Ferengi scientists. This weapon was designed to fire an electromagnetic pulse emitted from the aft section of the starship, which in theory could weaken a vessel's shields and damage propulsion systems enough to allow a D'Kora class to escape the area. The D'Kora class was also capable of extending and retracting its forward section. In keeping with the Ferengi rules of acquisition, the D'Kora class would also be one of the most versatile classes ever created by any species in the Milky Way galaxy. Wanting the best for the D'Kora class, but also the cheapest price, Zek himself would negotiate with the Vitrine, a species known for their highly advanced computer innovations, to supply the D'Kora class with all computer components, even a computer core which would allow a D'Kora class to be piloted by a single individual. And although this single occupant operation was not recommended, it certainly was an attractive feature for potential private buyers of the class. Each deck of the D'Kora class, aside from the command and control area, was fully customizable, with extra quarters on board serving as makeshift cargo bays and science labs should the vessel captains, known as daemon, require them. And even command and control areas all contained cargo storage capabilities to allow the maximum looting possible for a vessel of this size. Cargo transporters aboard the D'Kora class were some of the most advanced ever designed for its time. Capable of isolating specific cargo and technology, these transporters were superior in capacity beaming than even their Federation counterparts. Personnel transporters, however, were substandard, with one of the smallest transporter ranges of the era. However, for a reasonable price, this system too could be upgraded to function better, the results of which varied from ship to ship. An integrated shuttle was included on the underside of the forward section of the starship. This shuttle, originally intended to be an emergency evacuation vessel, would quickly become the quarters of most daemons who served within the Ferengi Alliance, with several modifications made to store the daemons' personal profits and acquisitions in case a quick getaway was warranted. And to encourage the purchase of a D'Kora class vessel, Zek would include a year's supply of matter and antimatter at no additional cost. The D'Kora Class Marauder would end up outperforming the expectations of Grand Nagus Zek, having an imposing design, coupled with the rumors Zek had placed throughout the galaxy. The Ferengi Alliance would for a time become one of the most feared races in the Alpha and Beta quadrants. Of course, all good things must eventually come to an end, and after first official contact with the Federation was made, after a Ferengi vessel stole a T9 energy converter in 2364, both sides quickly realized the other side was truly nothing to worry about. And after a short space of years, the Federation and Ferengi Alliance would begin formal diplomatic relations, with several lucrative contracts being given to the Ferengi Alliance, eventually leading the Alliance to become a valued member of the Federation. Created to scare off any potential threats to the Ferengi Alliance, the D'Kora Class Marauder would become so much more than its original intent, being a clever and powerful design, symbolizing the beginning of a new era for this often underestimated species, earning the D'Kora Class Marauder its profitable place in Ferengi history. Thank you for watching today's episode of Truth or Myth Beta Canon. What do you think of the D'Kora Class Marauder and the historical narrative that I've created here? Do you want to see more videos like this one? Well, leave your comments in the section below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, hitting that little bell icon so you won't miss a single video we release. Want to help the channel find a cost-effective way of growing and expanding? Then consider becoming a channel member subscriber or a channel patron. Both a major help that allows this channel to purchase resources and 3D models to keep it going. The link to both memberships is in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and remember, rule of acquisition number 57. Good customers are as rare as latinum. Treasure them.